Hello, my name is Nicolas Simon. I am an associate professor of sociology at Eastern Connecticut State University. I'm working for the Department of Sociology, Anthropology, Criminology, and Social Work. The title of my presentation is Social Justice, Open Educational Resources, and Open Pedagogy. First, let's define social justice. Many definitions exist, and for us to be able to talk about the same thing, we need to have a common definition. You may not agree with this definition, but at least this definition will help us to have a dialogue together. So I use the definition created by the National Association of Social Workers. For them, social justice is the view that everyone deserves equal economic, political, and social rights and opportunities. Social workers aim to open the doors of access and opportunity for everyone, particularly those in greatest need. Social justice promotes equal rights, equal opportunities, and equal treatments. And us, as a college professor, we have this power to create an equal opportunity. So this is why I am using open educational resources in my courses. So what are open educational resources? Some of you may not be familiar with the concept. So I'm using the 2012 Paris OER declaration from the UNESCO, which define open educational resources as teaching, learning, and research materials in any medium, digital or otherwise, that reside in the public domain or have been released under an open license that permits no-cost access, use, adaptation, and redistribution by others with no or limited restrictions. Open licensing is built within the existing framework of intellectual property rights as defined by relevant international conventions and respect the authorship of the work. So here I will focus on the no-cost access. Based on the high cost of higher education, it is fundamental for educators to use open educational resources or free material. Many students have to borrow money to pay for the cost of higher education. They leave college with debt and will have to spend many years paying back the money they borrow. One way for us educators to help our students is to use free material in our courses. It helps all our students, especially low-income students. It provides economic inclusion. This economic inclusion is fundamental in terms of access to higher education. However, access is only the first step. As educator, we have to explain our intention. We need to have discussion about why we are consciously choosing open educational resources. It needs to be a dialogue. It needs to be an exchange. This explanation is fundamental for social inclusion. We cannot create a learning experience without thinking and without challenging the power dynamic as the foundation of teaching. Education is not a hierarchical relationship between an educator who knows and learner who are here without possessing any knowledge. We need to deconstruct this unequal relationship. Education is a learning experience in which everyone has to learn from and with others. It is a sharing experience. And open educational resources offer this opportunity. However, since few semester, I'm using open pedagogy. So what is open pedagogy? Maybe some of you are not familiar with what is open pedagogy. Open pedagogy is the practice of engaging with students as creator of information rather than simply consumer of it. It's a form of experiential learning in which students demonstrate understanding through the act of creation. The product of open pedagogy are students created an open license so that they may live outside of the classroom in a way that has an impact on the greater community. This definition is used by some colleges and university libraries. If we want to increase student retention, we need to promote social and cultural inclusion. The creation by students of educational material is the way to assure that every culture is represented. Commercial materials are created to assure profits and exclude the cultural experiences of minority groups. Using open pedagogy provides the opportunity to every student to share the culture of his or her own group of belonging. It promotes student empowerment. This is extremely important in terms of cultural inclusion. Students create educational material which become a part of the class. Many voices are included. Diversity of experiences provide a rich learning experience. This cultural inclusion increases the retention of every college student. In addition, open pedagogy offers the possibility for students to work together. This collective work promotes social inclusion. Students have to work with each other despite their cultural differences. I'm not saying that it's always smooth and peaceful. However, I can assure you that it helps to promote social inclusion, and students benefit a lot from this experience. Here, open pedagogy promotes social inclusion which reinforces student retention. So, in conclusion, this brief presentation explains why I selected open educational resources for my courses. The objective is to promote economic inclusion and access for all. I'm currently moving in the direction of using open pedagogy with my students to help students to create together educational material which can be shared with many different communities. This creation promotes social and cultural inclusion, which increase student retention. In my mind, open educational resources by promoting economic inclusion and open pedagogy by promoting social and cultural inclusion are excellent tools of social justice. Thank you for listening and have a great day.